So here's something that I'm working on right now, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but I'm doing a lot of stuff right now on mapping our networks. Because I think one of the things I know in a lot of different ways is in sales, in business, in a lot of different ways, we say, okay, well, let's make a list. And I think this is really important. If you guys are new ISPA members, one of the things that we're going to look at is, where can we go build? Where are we going to go find our customers? Where are we going to find our partners? So we go out and make a list. And a list, because it's kind of finite, we run out of ideas. And we go, well, who else on the list? And then also, I know from a sales background, once we make a list, then we feel like we got to do something to that list. Now we're accountable to that list, and it's about conversions, it's about timing. When we start thinking about mapping our network, what we're looking at is finding ways to look at where we are, who else are we connected to, what's the strength of that relationship? Is this a peer network? Do I have influence in this network? Who else are they connected to? And we start to go through and say, where do I have spheres of influence? There's this a hub and spoke model where there's somebody out here that's also connected to people. So part of this is not just thinking, who can I go talk to build my partnerships, but where do I want to spend my energy? What networks maybe do I want to gain access to? Who are the people that I want to gain access to? Where am I in my network? What could I do to strengthen my network? Because if you think about your network, not as a collection of names and a list of people, but as an asset that takes time to develop, then you start to go, how do I grow my asset? How do I grow my network asset? To grow that is, like we said earlier, Chrissy, is add value to that network. So rather than reaching out and somebody you haven't talked to for 10 years and say, I got this great business idea, and they go, who's this again? You go, okay, well, how do I make sure that I've been adding value? Hey, what's been going on with you? What projects? Oh, I got a resource for you. And you're always reaching out, strengthening that network. And the more you put into that network, the more you can squeeze out of it. And it's about making sure that you're adding enough value so that in between these nodes, so where that guy, the red guy on the screen there, all these other ones, I want to see you working on strengthening the lines, making those lines thicker, making the level of influence, making the way that your peers with them. How, like, I always say, if I'm in sales and I call a potential client, are they going to go, nope, not today, and ignore my call? Or are they going to be in a board meeting and go, hey, I got to take this because every time I talk to that guy, he gives me help and he adds value. And that's where like that sphere of influence comes in. So mapping your network, understanding where you want to now position, how to grow that asset, then you start looking at how to make that list and how to grow that list. Okay. Identify your shared goals in your network, align your values and services. So this would be an activity you take, go through and find out where are all these alignments before you just make a list and make a target. Figure out where in the network that is. Where can you offer value? How are you going to build trust? How are you going to educate, collaborate? How are you going to develop these referral systems? How are you going to stay involved, be consistent? Where could you offer joint marketing? And how would you measure and adjust? This is the way that you want to do this. And again, we're going to send these slides out. Is really think about the network, not a list of partners. Think about what you want that network to look like in 5 years, in 10 years. What's the value that you could then place on that network? If all of a sudden you have, so right now, if you're becoming an ISPA member and you're launching your business and you're going to do succession planning, the value of your network currently, could you now just make a bunch of phone calls and say, hey, I got a business, I got an offer for you for $5,000. You want to get started? If you can't do that, build the asset of the network. You want to be able to just call your network, say, hey, I got this new project I'm launching. You'd be perfect for it. It's going to cost you $10,000. You want to get rolling? That's what you need to be able to do. So making sure that you can put that into your network so that when you want to roll something new out, you can do that. Or on the other side, you've got a partner network that comes to you and says, hey, I've got this new offer. You go, you know what? I know exactly who you should talk to. And you can make a phone call for them and get them a deal. That's what I'm talking about when we talk about building that network asset.
Excellent.
Okay, I know we're gonna, I've got a list of stuff here. I'm gonna wrap it up pretty quickly here. We're gonna try and beat the 40-minute mark, 45. Here's what I'm gonna give you a list. I think I got 14 of this. This is just making it all work. Build those relationships, focus on win-win. Okay, and Ted, hey, I got another one. Yeah, baby. Communicate clearly, consistently, leverage each other's strengths. I mean, I think the biggest thing I know when I'm out networking, I learned years ago, is I think people do this. I don't have a business. I never have business cards ever again. But here we go. This looks like a business card. But people go like this. They show up and they go, so what do you do? And they go, and they're waiting for their turn. They go, well, I do this. And then they vomit their stuff all over you. You get home and you got this stack of business cards. You say, hey, I networked. I think the key for networking is going out and finding out what people are excited about, what projects they got going on. And my goal has always been, I want to get to the end of a networking meeting. Nobody even knows what I do, but I book coffee meetings. I booked other meetings. They go, by the way, what do you do? Because we've had the right conversations, and it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what product you offer. It matters how much value you have in the network. And the biggest way to do that is I do introductions. I ask people a lot about what their business, what their world looks like. And I go, you need to meet somebody. I will physically walk them to the people they need to connect with. So leveraging those strengths, and they get really good at promoting you. The best way to promote your business and your service is have somebody else brag about you. That's the key. Start with small projects. Pick something that'd be fun. Host an event together. That costs you nothing, right? Podcasts are a great idea. Thanks, Edward. But pick something that you can do that you don't have to invest in. Find a local Holiday Inn or something. Do an event where you say, hey, we're going to be talking today about how to, tax strategy, how to save money, like what are the best tax write-offs you can do. And I'm bringing in a cool partner that we have. Put your 2 logos on a piece of paper, print 10 of them out, make a social media post and send it out to your network, and do a shared event for an hour. Have a lunch and learn, have some wine after, do a Chamber of Commerce thing. There's tons of stuff you can do that start. And if you don't like each other after that, don't do a bigger, more complex one, right? Set some KPIs. What do we want to do? Who's going to do what? Be flexible. And we got what else? Share resources, knowledge, just say, hey, I got this. We'll do this on our end. We'll do this. You do that. Maintain those. Like I said earlier, what are we actually doing here? Is this a referral partnership? Is this an actual co-branded thing? Who's doing what? Where does the revenue come in? How do we want to collect it? What's the dollar amount? Just write that down. Writing it down always helps. Celebrate the wins, acknowledge contributions, just celebrate, man, we had such a good time. This was really fun. Celebrate that. Resolve conflicts. We can get into that. Aligning marketing and messaging, just making sure that you guys are saying the same stuff. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we want to say. Create the co-branded message, and you can both lead from different sides. Share the feedback. And so that's another thing is, so let's say you did an event at a Holiday Inn, you had 100 people there, you did this thing. Guess what? No matter who did the best, you both get the testimonials. Now you've got a testimonial, especially if somebody else is a great presenter. You bring them in, they go, wow, what a great session I attended. You own that testimonial too. So there's really fun ways to accelerate that. And what was the last one? Keep the partnership dynamic, right? Regular review, adjust for it.